Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're going to try a stream without the music this time. Just so you hear my dulcet tones, because so many people complain about the music. Personally, I love it. I think it adds a bit of background to it, a bit more depth to the whole stream. But we'll try one without it and see how it goes. How's everyone doing? Are you enjoying the bull bear market? Because everyone seems to be flip flopping every 10 seconds on crypto Twitter. Are we all bullish? Are we all bearish? Type what you are in the chat. Type if you're a bull. Just type bull. If you're a bear, type bear. You missed the 90s tracks? I know, mate. I do too. Ain't flopping. Bull. Let's go. Classic music last time was very relaxing, grounding. Yeah, nice. Horny bull. Andy loves it. One more 80s to buy more spot? Nah, mate. Never gonna happen. What I type my body is shaking from bullishness. I think that's bull. Yeah. Chill guy is waiting for chill guy. Yeah. Yeah, chill guy, the biggest cabal play of 2024, no doubt. Playing the oscillators up only forever. Yeah, a new paradigm. This time it is different. Take a look at Worried Guy. I can take a look at some shitcoins. Yeah, I'm gonna do a quicker stream this week. Time IRL stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it to an hour basically, but I might end up doing another one at some point. So we'll kind of see. We'll balance it out. Trades a skip a printing and the trades a take a losing. Yeah. There's actually, not to shill it too much, but there's a video I did, which is actually from you guys last week around psychology in the market at the moment and how everyone feels like they're missing out, right? So you're looking at this and you go, "Fuck me!" Like AI, what a play. Pepe. Oh my god, I've been looking at the Pepe chart for weeks. Wow, wow, wow. Why am I not long Pepe? Like, I'm long BONK, and it's actually a bad trade because I should have closed it, but I ended up having to go out today for a bit, and didn't end up closing it. So it's pure luck that I'm still long bonk. But bonk isn't the in play meme, so yes, I'm up on it, but it's not the best meme, and it's a bad trade, which we'll come on to, right? We'll come on to that logic, but there's always better opportunities than the one you're in typically. And social media will have you thinking that you should always be in this trade. And like, if you're long GMX at this point, you're an idiot. If you're long near, I'm long near, right? I've got a big spot bag of near, and it's not really doing much compared to everything else in the market. So wow, I'm an idiot. But yeah, we'll come on to stuff. But nice to see that everyone's still kind of bullish. Personally, like I've been long from down here. I've been in spot. I unloaded some spot in the 99s, which was my long term bags, a lot of my long-term bags that I've held for 7 years now. I didn't want to wait for 100k, like the arbitrary target, right? And I unloaded like 80% of it just because I didn't want to wait for that extra $1,000. So yeah, I probably helped cause the top, or the local top anyway. But I'm still in all my spot from my buys up here, the public buys that we did around 68, 69, all that kind of stuff. That's still there. Good evening, everybody. Yes, or good morning, good afternoon, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm still pretty bullish. The one counterpoint that I have at this point in time, and you're all gonna flip your minds when you see this, but looking at if you were gonna short hedge anywhere, it's literally here, right? And the rationale for this thought process is that when you've had this breakdown from this range and come back and retested it, this is like the only logical place to jump on board with 15-minute divergences playing into this, both on Awesome Oscillator and RSI. And if you are like me, sat in a massive bag of spot, from a medium time frame trading perspective, then this makes total sense. I don't think it'll play out. I think it'll actually get stopped. I think we'll actually go for that triple drive up. But either way, we kind of wait and see and see how it plays out. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit like I did not fully anticipate the 10-15% drawdown or whatever it was, 10% drawdown on this. I thought, yeah, I thought we'd hold this range here at like 97, and not lose it, not lose these lows. So I got completely kind of caught offside by this, completely unhedged, unprotected. But yeah, this is kind of me hedging for just that little bit of unknown risk, I suppose. And I think this is a very clean point to do it because of, one, the divergences, two, the pivots around this level. But I've no doubt that this will be a kind of losing trade. It's more the fact that structurally, from a divergence perspective, there's enough reason to take it. I think it will get stopped, and it's like one of 3 shorts I think I've taken in the past 2 or 3 months. So it's controversial. I'm not expecting to for this to play out, just to be clear. But if it does play out, then clearly the greatest trader of all time. But it's a small price to pay for me to be able to sort of sleep at night and potentially compensate for not having managed this bit particularly well. $85K doesn't sound crazy. No, it doesn't sound crazy. And this is the thing: is like, whilst I can sit there and be like, not bearish, because I'm not bearish, right? I'm not like, oh my god, it's going back to zero. Oh my god, it's pulling back to wherever. Like, worst case, like I've got this as like an RR tool thing, right, for Twitter and all that kind of stuff. The reality is, and I've said this for weeks, the reality is, if it comes back to here, the whole market's just screwed, right? That would not be a bullish market structure, in my opinion. So if you kind of take this away and you come down to like, alright, what am I doing? If you come down to like here, right, 80, like even that is pretty bad in terms of a pullback. Like, you'd want it to be kind of around that 85 region, probably like somewhere like these lows here, like sweep those lows and then go. Like, and that would be, from a high time frame, like weekly perspective, enough of a pullback to just say, yeah, do you know what, it's trend continuation. And it happens similarly, like back here, right, like that kind of pullback, and then go again for round 2. But if you actually did come back to like the 70s and to this former resistance up here, if we got down to there and we actually started accepting, I mean, that's kind of it. That's the bull market done. Like I said, I don't expect it to happen. I'm just taking a bit of a controversial hedge at this point. Purely, and I'll probably end up closing it something more like that as we start jumping into the 97s. Hopefully it'll be tonight. But like, in terms of fresh positioning on Bitcoin, for me, this is the only like real place to jump in on a short, to hedge essentially. But if I wanted to jump in like a fresh long position, then I'm just doing the opposite, right? I'm looking for the reclaim up here, and I'm looking to jump on board that trend continuation. Probably not the first stab at it, but probably a pullback and something around there to give me that kind of fresh entry. And that's it. Like, I don't want to add to my Bitcoin position, to be clear. That's not my intention at all. If there's any positions that I'm going to add to, it's Solana. And Solana is kind of the same premise, right? Solana is, there's a nice range established up here. This is kind of going, and I'd buy into that reclaim essentially of this range up here. Now, I've already got kind of a compounded Solana trade on the go from way back here. And one of the things that we've got, and this is former all-time high, by the way, that 259 level. One thing I've talked about continuously is setups around that former high, so something like this. And that's not really what we're getting now, because we haven't had that impulse to the upside, like beyond the former highs. But it's pretty reasonable, I think, that Solana continues. We are seeing some strength in ETH BTC as opposed to Sol BTC. But I think that this just grinds up and then eventually goes, right? I think Solana still will be a very, very good play even from here. But yeah, it is nice to see some ETH BTC strength. We've actually seen some decent rotations in terms of other alts. And I'll load this up, but it doesn't tend to work very well on stream. We'll come back to it in a sec once it has loaded. But you can see from this, like, there's a couple of memes up here, but there's also like AI. And typically the rotations over the past few days have been more focused on, you know, fundamentally strong projects, I would say. You know, Band, Aave, PERP, SUI, FTM. You know, all these are kind of like fundamentally strong projects. They're not memes, right? And you know, you can see it here, like GameFi, Storage, ETH Beta, DEX, AI, like, have all been the real players of the past like week or so, and memes actually down here. So whilst Bitcoin overall is, you know, minus 3% in that period, like, a lot of other categories are doing really, really well. So you've got things like GLM, which are absolutely flying. You've got various other things. You've got Woo. Yeah, you've got loads and loads of stuff. Please check Bruce. Cow feels like Bert. Oh my god. We're really going for it, aren't we? In the shitcoin trenches. I will just load up a shitcoin chart to go back to. But yeah, I mean, the BTC strength is obviously very, very good. It's very good for the rest of the market. There's been a lot of good plays. You know, weeks ago I got mocked for my choice of ETC, and since the low, you know, ETC is up 49%, and ETH is up 49%. Fine. Maybe I can't be as smug as I should be. Oh, but I'm actually doing it from, yeah, trade entry point. But nobody would have, well, not nobody, but the breakout would have been here. So yeah, it's better. But yeah, it's interesting that when people, you know, mock your choice of assets, and actually it's done pretty fucking well in terms of from the breakout, and it's actually from the range high of the breakout. Sorry. Good evening, Tyler. What? They call me Tyler. I'm not Tyler. Good effort though. Remember Cubic? He already did 50%. Nice, mate. Yeah, I mean, so much is moving, right? It's everyone's a genius season. Like, genuinely, pretty much everything is ripping. I mean, for me, like ETH, the continuation trade was back here. I was talking about this with a friend. To be honest, I wasn't actually trading it in the group, and I didn't take this trade. But it was the thought process of, like, you know, his point was, why do you even use TA, and why do you like, how do you use it when you just buy stuff and see what happens type thing? And I'm like, well, you can see structurally there's support, there's resistance, there's break of downtrends, and like, genuinely this kind of pattern is something that I've been looking at and talking about on POPCAT for a while. Like, when you start breaking downtrends, it gives you really easy entries and really easy thought processes to, you know, enter a trade and invalidate it. Same thing with WOG, which I posted on Twitter the other day. You know, I was posting it here, and then it just literally bounced. But I'm actually in from like 0.5-ish, so I'm in from somewhere like here. So I'm basically break even on this now. To be clear, like, my entry's shocking, but this, you know, in terms of downtrend, as soon as it starts to break it, you just, like, there's trade one, and yeah, okay, it reversed, and here's trade two, right? And off it goes. And in bullish conditions, you know, hyper bullish conditions like we've got at the moment, that's good enough for me anyway. Like, yeah, I pretty much round tripped a ridiculous Doge breakout. I did shave a little bit off up here, but I let the rest of it just round trip me. And like I said at the start, I'm long near, and I've been tweeting about this for a little while. I'm long near from here, and you know, it's one of the worst performing assets of the day. But do I give a shit? No, this is a high time frame trade. You know, I'm just going for like a cushy kind of 80% odd. Maybe a little bit more if we can actually push and break the highs and stuff. You know, try and hit that $10 double digit mark. But you know, it's been a high time frame trade. It still is a high time frame trade. We'll kind of see how it goes, right? Look forward to my take on Bruce. That's the cow, isn't it? That's the fucking cow. Like, yeah. I mean, I'll do some like low cap shitters in a bit. But let's just go through the kind of main event. Like, for me, ETH, if you're not on board the ETH train, just look for the next thing, right? If you want to jump on board ETH, it's too late in my opinion. Like, up here, yeah, all right, it might carry on ripping, but I suck at entering something that is just like vertical, right? Something that is literally in a diagonal uptrend. I just suck at it. I tend to get chopped up in it. I like playing breakouts. I like consolidations. I like breakouts, and I'll ape quite happily here, especially in these kind of conditions because you've got an invalidation under here. You know where you're wrong, and you can just ride the trend, right? Entering here or trying to play like a retest of this or something like that is just not my trading style, right? So if you missed the ETH train, tough shit. For Solana, I think there is genuinely that kind of nice range to play up here. You know, I don't want to play anything in between. We'll just kind of wait and see what happens there. On Bitcoin, have I still got the doodles? Let's just undo absolutely everything. Yeah, let's go back to that. Let's see what this is doing. Yeah, okay, so we've got a nice bit of strength. That divergence is kind of played out in terms of, yeah, it's playing out, I should say. But like here through these candles started to play out, and now it's just rebounding a bit. Like I would much rather it just rip to the highs, right? Absolutely, that is my preferred setup. But it's I'm up a healthy amount in US dollars from my buys all in here, and I'm back here on my spot position. I think I'm a little bit like, ooh, I failed to manage this drawdown despite feeling exceptionally euphoric about the dollar amount. So we do that. Hey Khalil. I see soft shield banjo. I threw some bucks at it, pray no rug. Yeah, I mean, low caps are just low caps, right? They're all gamble money. I've done this rant a million times on stream. You bet what you can afford to lose in low caps. There's if you want to be a meme low cap trader, then there's more stuff you need to do than just SZ's in it or someone else is in it. Like I'm not saying that that's not a good thing. SE's very 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 good with these kind of calls, but yeah, you need to do more than that. Otherwise, it's gamble money. Yeah, Quebec running, absolutely ripping. Got Palm, one of my AI bags, absolutely ripping. What else? Got Kai. Kai's starting to move, which is really good. I've spoken about Kai a lot before. Again, low cap, but hopefully, if it can break out of this like accumulation range, then it can really run. I will just give a shout out to Desync, who are obviously the stream sponsor. We've seen a fair bit of appreciation since last stream, and we talked about this as a general pattern, right? In terms of consolidation, breakout, retest, and then go. And like that retest is 25 cents, and it hits a nice kind of 50% in a few days. Like personally, I'm holding it for a lot higher, but yeah, I think this kind of price action, particularly with rotation to kind of any kind of AI type plays, we've seen it. I mean, like literally, the ticker is on today's rotation is literally AI, right? And there's a lot of stuff on base going mad. Like not that this is on base, but just base AI and stuff is generally going mad. I think this is good for expansion and continuation to the upside. But Batillions, chill guy. Believe the cow is cooked. All right, let's do a couple of quick ones. So you talked about Woo. I've tweeted about Woo for a while. Woo actually we work with we work with Woo with the Paragon Group. And that actually gives me a nice little intro to say that we've got. You might have seen it at the start. We have got promo codes on the Paragon Group at the moment, which are these. I've deliberately cut the 12-month one off because the 12-month one you can't pay by card because of WAP, and all the crypto payments are inclusive of discount codes already. So, for example, instead of paying £1 via the card option, you'd be paying 90p or 90 cents or whatever if you're American. Yeah, and this is the last week we're running it. We won't be doing anything like discount wise until the same time next year. So if you're interested in it and it's something you've been thinking of doing, then kind of now's the time. Yeah, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't think it was a good deal. Even if you come in, get all the indicators, spend a month in there, and go, yeah, do you know what, this isn't for me, or whatever. Then, but at least you've tried it. Like that's entirely up to you. We actually have got a lot of people in, and it's it's becoming a real community at the moment because there's a lot more people in, a lot more questions, a lot more activity, and it's wild. It is wild, and we've got two types of channels now. We've got altcoin channel and we've got decoin, and we've got degen channel. So not only degen dog shit coins. So not only are we like talking about 1 to 10 mil market caps, we're talking like brand new launches and stuff, and it's just it's crazy. As well as obviously hours and hours of educational content, weekly streams, outlooks, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't be shilling it if I didn't believe in it. But yeah, jumping into Woo. I've actually been in a Woo spot position for a little while. It was one of my bags that I bought down here somewhere, and it's the same general premise, right? Like, one, I think Woo is a good exchange. I think it's reasonably well known on Twitter, so that when you've got the likes of BNB, which we've talked about before, and you kind of get that quote unquote safe narrative meta of exchange tokens running as exchange volumes go up, profits go up, blah blah blah. Like, it just looks like that classic big booty bottom pattern, which it's so far playing out quite nicely. Crown, I mean, like, there's loads of. I'm gonna do BERT before I do anything else. So I've got a massive bag of BERT. I posted like one of my wallets publicly, and it was up at, I don't know, wherever it was, like somewhere up here, like 130k, blah blah blah. It's now not. It's now like 60k. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like, I'm just holding this. I'm holding this because I want to sell it up here somewhere. I'm not interested in this. A lot of people will. Memes are not for the faint-hearted. Let me just be really, really clear that I have a big bag of this. I will dump on people's heads at some point. I have several big bags of this actually, and yes, I will be dumping it. That is the whole point of buying stuff and trying to sell it higher. But this is the boring phase. This is to me the consolidation, and then hopefully something reasonable happens, and we just get that expansion up and clearing some off at the range highs. But hopefully it goes much higher. And this is just boring nothing chop. Still doing 6 million of volume. I guess it's not too high given that it's 63 million market cap, but yeah, I've still got a big bag of this. Every time I tweet, the community goes fucking mental. So if community is genuinely a symbol for how well price is going to do, then yeah, that is quote unquote bullish. POPCAT must be saved. Oh, don't, man. POPCAT is heavier than my balls after like months of not banging. Like, this is the most depressing price action. Look at it, it's just like pure down only. Like, POPCAT's a bitch to trade anyway, because look at all this like janky, like horrible price action. I like it from an intraday, like low time frame perspective. So like literally intraday, 5-10 minute, 5-10 second entries, and then like rotations for a couple of hours, right? Because it is pretty good. The POPCAT chart seems to have two moods, straight up or straight down, and it just literally oscillates between those. And there's no, like, literally you can just trade this with diagonals. Like, look at it, diagonal, break the diagonal, you're going down again. Diagonal, that one's a bit bad, but as soon as you break it, you go up. Like, start, like, literally, like, go back and just test like the diagonal line theory on POPCAT. It is mental. Diagonal line, break, run, diagonal line, break, run, like diagonal, break, okay, no run, but fine. You've got a bit of a range there. Like, literally with 3 lines, you can probably trade POPCAT really well on an intraday basis. But it's a bastard if you're trying to actually swing it. So for me, like, the whole like, how do I get a bag of POPCAT and how do I take on the next leg of POPCAT, if indeed there is one, it's all about this kind of pivot through here, which is this support, this support, this support, resistance, support. Like, if you look at like where price is interacting, it's here basically, and like it gets a bit choppier back here, but I'm gonna just choose to appreciate more recent price action. And then, yeah, this is a really nice move, right? You kind of got a like shitty hidden div down at the lows, but you start reclaiming that and you start thinking, okay, well, not only have we broken this big diagonal, which we're kind of still in, maybe just breaking it right now. And then you've got a really nice trade in terms of you've got an invalidation down at the lows, that's down here somewhere, depending on how this price action forms. And then you've got a decent swing for the next leg of the general meme market. Bearing in mind that memes at this moment in time are not super in play, right? As we can see from the categories. So we can see that memes are like down here. So we can see a real sentiment shift in terms of the market at the moment. But it's going to get a Bybit listing soon and Binance listing soon. I'm in from 4 cents. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm genuinely hopeful for. Like I hope it goes on Binance and just goes like does absolutely nothing for a little while and then just goes bosh. I smashed in another few sold the other day, wherever it was, like is it down here maybe? I can't remember. Time all blurs into one. Um, yeah, we'll see. Crown. I mean, Crown was a good one back in the day, but I mean, look at that. Yeah, I've obviously talked about this a few times before, but it doesn't interest me that much. Partly because like I really want to be bullish GameFi, right? I really want to be bullish on play to earn and all that kind of stuff. Um, but the reality is, I'm just not like, I'm just not that bullish on it because the market isn't that bullish on it. Like a lot of GameFi stuff, like um, isn't particularly great, right? Yeah, there's been a bit of rotation in it lately, and that's because of basically one or two projects. But generally, it's not been particularly strong, and yeah, for me, like this just looks like a big kind of how do I put it? Like accumulation range down here. And do I want to speculate that it's going to kind of come back? To be honest, I think it's had its major cycle. Um, I think this kind of run up and then this. It was in play way back here, right? It's kind of not in play anymore. Like I'm not that interested in stuff that looks like this. What do you think about Cerebro PA? I completely missed the whole Cerebro thing, mate. So my opinion's probably null and void. In terms of Chill Guy, because someone asked about that earlier, like this is the biggest Kapow meme. Like I was talking about this the other day in the group in terms of like if you want to play all-time high breakouts, go for it. But I didn't. I don't kind of touch these plays unless I like the meme, and I think this is just. I don't know. I don't like the meme. I think it was completely artificial, manufactured. Like never saw it on TikTok at all. But whatever, you know. I made nothing from it. I lost nothing from it. I'll live to see another day. Like it's just one of those. It's just going up only, doing a huge amount of volume. How much of that is real? God knows. Uh, yeah. If you're in it from much lower, great, well done. But would I buy here? No. Would I sell here? Probably not. If I'm pretty bullish on it, it's still in a kind of uptrending channel. Until you lose something, until you lose the strength or lose this kind of diagonal, then there's no reason for me to sell if I was in a position, obviously. But yeah, I wouldn't be buying it up here. Bruce Cow understudied by CT. I mean, I think we just get into that stage of the cycle where like, everyone's trying to shill their dog shit. Like Bruce the cow. Alright. $1 million volume for 899k market cap. Okay, not too bad, I guess. Someone sent me this the other day, and it was probably somewhere like around here, to be honest. But I just completely fucking ignored it. I'm not gonna lie. What market cap do you think DJ's still away like with its high market cap? I don't think I don't think market cap plays too much of a part in most degens decision making, because like a lot of them would rather focus on the price, right? 0.0008894. Okay, well, if that goes for dollar, I'm rich. That mentality happens all the time. I don't know what this $1 thing is, but just to buy a dollar. So it's all just more chill guy bullshit. Okay. Um. Yeah, still in blob. Yeah, I'm still in blob. I still got a big bag of blob. Blob, blob, blob. So this is one where, again, like low volume, reasonably low liquidity. I bought at 2 million ish, so I was buying in here. Then obviously, even buying at 2 million, right? And thinking you're reasonably early, at one point you still had to eat a massive amount of drawdown, right? I say massive. It's like 50% of the low, right? So I suppose it is pretty massive. I'm still in this. Like, there's no real way to chart this. It's fucking horrible in terms of like you know low liquidity shitcoins. But if you were looking at like value areas, you'd look at like that, like those basically value areas. You had that as a nice kind of run. We're now in a downtrend. Just need to break that and hopefully leg up again. I can see us consolidating here, to be honest, for a little bit, and then going. But and if you consolidate there, that's like place of next entry, to be honest. Not that I'm going to enter there, but if you wanted to get on board, I guess is the kind of notion. But yeah, I posted it down there on the Paragon and said I'm buying here, and everyone was like, "Oh, Sting's already shielded to us in here," and I was like, "Oh, I missed those messages. Cheers, boys." So I think a few members of the group outperformed me on that one. But obviously, I then started tweeting about it and stuff, and yeah, we push it, we rock and roll. I said also in LOL looks good about the breakout. Yeah, I had a big bag of LOL. I sold it really early because I'm a paper-handed noodle pussy thing. 16 mil market cap. Ugh. I bought it down here. I'm pretty sure, and then I probably lettuce hands it up here somewhere because it has genuinely been months since I held some. I mean, that's a nice breakout, to be fair. Like, I don't know what's happened or whether it was a piece of news or something that pushed it, but yeah, like this is what I mean. Like this consolidation. That's what I mean for blob, right? Particularly as you start seeing like series of like lower highs, and you get that like waning momentum, and then as soon as it sort of breaks out, it just runs, and that kind of thing on shitcoins, I love. Pepe, I mean, I don't really want to talk about Pepe. Pepe's a bit annoying. For me, it's that reclaim setup, right? Like I didn't want to long it down here because it was horrible in terms of price action, like not particularly clean. But it's one of the strongest performers, which in an ETH strong meta makes total sense, right? But yeah, now we're starting to like reclaim some levels. This is where I could be interested in playing like the next leg up on Pepe. Say to a dollar, I don't know. I don't have a bag of say, so yeah, maybe it's been pretty strong. I mean, if you look at any chart, right? Any chart that looks like this in terms of just like raw strength, that's usually a very good sign. Thoughts on Leica as a project? I really like Leica. So I think Leica's initial launch timing was great. Oh yeah, so that's where I tweeted it last night at like 80 cents or something, and it ran for a bit. I think what they're doing, and this isn't like I don't have anything. I've just market bought. I market bought some Leica down here. So I smashed literally as it went live. So I'm in from down here. Um, but what they're doing is they're trying to essentially it's a Doge layer 2. So you can use your Doge to buy stuff on Doge chain, and you can earn a yield off your Doge coins, which when they integrate it with better cross-chain swaps, and if you consider that Doge in and of itself, is do people in the chat, let's put this another way, do people in the chat think Doge has done this cycle? Or do you think it's going higher, or do you think we take out these former highs up here? No, it's not done. At least all-time high, higher. Yeah. So I personally think it's probably not done either. Doge to the moon. I think there's loads of things around Department of Government Efficiency, Trump coming into office, blah blah blah, like Elon being like so super close to crypto. Like I think genuinely Doge runs again, which is why I was so aggressive on this long here and I didn't take profit, because I don't think Doge is done, right? And I think actually now we're looking at kind of that same trade almost starting to play out again. And just because you were wrong on the first trade doesn't mean you can't go again at the same trade, right? And jump on the same long. I'm probably not going to take that because there is no relative strength on Doge. Like it's here, it's right next to BTC. It's not particularly attractive at this point in time. But the point in principle remains that I think Doge has another run. I think when Doge has another run, LAIKA will have another run. I think there's projects on LAIKA like WoofieSwap and various other ones that that when they run, these will run as a proxy, right? So that's my thought process there. Ina, any plans? Nope. Daily AO div. What on Dogecoin? Yeah, it's there's daily divs across both highs, and this is my point of like I don't want to jump in it just yet. I'd rather be late to the right party than early to the wrong one. Particularly as there is no relative strength. So as you correctly point out, when you've got these kind of divergences setting in across these highs here, and you've got reasonably weak price action, and you've got weak relative strength, which I've just killed because I'm an idiot. When you've got that, yeah, it doesn't make for a particularly attractive setup. Why the rumors tell the new card trade? Yeah, hasn't got parabolic yet. Yeah, I kind of think that this might be the cycle where Doge hits $1, but I'm not positioning like for that explicitly. I think there are like better memes in terms of percent returns, but so far Doge has done really well. The BONK trade that I was going to talk you guys through it's really simple. Again, it's consolidation. It's boring. Like I drew this before and put this on, put this in the group and said, look, I kind of really want a bonk. I really want a bonk. I really want a bonk. I really want a bonk trade. There's actually a better way of looking at bonk, and it's Renko. And this former high, coming into that kind of former high zone here. Kind of take that out. Like this kind of pattern for me is really good. Like chop around former all-time highs and then kind of go again. So what I did is I entered it this morning, and I essentially said that if I get this, was it there? Yeah, it might have been there. I had a small position in from back here, and I averaged it up, and I got in somewhere about here. And I said if it round trips, I'll close it, as in if it goes basically back to my entry, which it did. But I wasn't here. I went out for a bit, and I just left it open with my stop down here like an idiot, and now I'm up on it. So it's one of those trades where it didn't actually go according to plan. Like if it had sold off and gone down here and stopped me out and then ran, that I would have lost more than I thought it was going to lose. So I just got very lucky. It was a poorly managed trade, but unfortunately I had to leave quite abruptly today for a bit of a family emergency. But yeah, we all really want to bonk Charlie. We really all do. Hit that like button, people. Yeah, thank you very much for people liking, people subscribing, people doing all that kind of stuff. The notifs and all that jazz makes me exceptionally happy. Well, it doesn't really. It does give me some dopamine and drip feeds those wonderful signals into my brain, though. So I do appreciate every one of you who's done it. A bit late, but we managed. Good morning. Hello, Small News. Hello. Yeah, the BNB. Just while I saw it there, and this has been the slowest and most painful trade of the entire last few weeks. Not ideal. STX, we've got STX moving finally again. It's kind of like what's it called? Like high time frame stuff. Like if Bitcoin stays relatively center stage and behaves itself, I think STX does really well. It's one of my more boring bags, like near in terms of I've got no major qualms. I don't expect it to just run 10x overnight, but I expect it to be a slow and steady gainer. Again, high time frame pivots, really simple thought process, big sell off, consolidation, move up, similar to like ETC, which we talked about earlier. ORDI was a bag that I wanted, but this is a liar. I've not actually got this, right? And it's a similar thought process with ordinals as it is STX, that essentially Bitcoin beta, right? So Bitcoin starts running, those bags go with it. Like for the dopamine. Ah, cheers, mate. Lovely. I can feel that dopamine just oozing into my brain. We've got VANRY, which we talked about before on stream. That's starting to absolutely rip. I saw it the other day and I was like, oh god, I need to top my bags up on VANRY because no, I sold some back here. I've chopped around with this quite a lot. But VANRY, I'm hoping goes back to highs or similar. Yeah, my average entry is not actually there. My average entry is somewhere like here. So that's kind of my that's probably more like the actual trade that I'm taking, because you just don't want to see it come back to these lows, right? We are now starting a trending move on VANRY, and you don't want to see it come back and like take this low at all. Like if anything, at this point, it's probably like this. So you're waiting for the next kind of consolidation to jump in, or maybe a retest of like this here. You know, this is the accumulation period. This is the breakout. Maybe retest and then go. But yeah, all of these are kind of whiff's only on there because yeah, there's a long story behind that one. But whiff can go now because we've tagged the highs on whiff, and that's whiff done for me. I missed the breakout on OP. OP was a really good trade the other day, particularly with the ETH beta that we've had you know, in this breakout. But I don't think there's. I'm not that interested in it again from a breakout play perspective. Like up here, I think it's probably had its relative strength. Right, there's not too much in terms of low time frame rotations. I did try and long it the other day, but it didn't really work. I think it was down here. No, it wasn't Sunday. It must have been Monday. Yeah, it didn't really do much. Wild Robert makes so much money at the chart. It's done fuck all the entire year. Of course, I sold the bag I've had for months before this rotation. Yeah, I've been thinking about Robert a lot lately, actually, because you know, I want them to pay me £500,000 to trade on there. Just, you know, being honest, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? You know, I actually think my style of trading is probably the best style like possible for Rollbit, like genuinely. But yeah, unfortunately they're not paying me £500,000 to trade on there, so you know. But yeah, considering their revenue numbers and everything, you know, they make so much money. They sponsor so many decent teams and stuff. Their treasury is massive. Their token buy and burn is wild. I think so one of my friends, Eric Cryptoman, he's, you know, a Chad like trader and degen low cap person's got like loads and loads of 100x's. He's a really like in the trenches guy. And buys stuff with conviction and just fucking holds it to 0 or 100x. So, you know, everyone's like, oh, he's dumping on us. It's like, he's actually probably bag held 90% of his shit to 0, and the other 10% to like well over 1000x. So, you know, it's how different people play the game. Whereas I'm in and out of the 1 second chart. You know what I mean? But he said that there's one wallet or two wallets that have dumped over like £1 million worth or $10 million worth of tokens during this phase, and now it's going. But again, I don't actually have any RRB anymore, and yeah, it does look good though. So I was thinking about it the other day because one of my friends was talking about them, and I was like, I kind of need to check their revenue metrics and stuff, because it was actually the proxy play of Banana that we were talking about it. That's why we were talking about it, because I was like, I love revenue plays, and he was like, but you haven't got a big bag of RRB, and I'm like, no, because I'm a fucking idiot apparently. But yeah, Banana in terms of their revenue metrics is wild. If you've seen Sivo's post, I think he's got like $2.5 million of Banana coin that he's just staked, and he gets about $2,000 to $3,000 a day in terms of revenue just for doing nothing and having his tokens staked. I mean, yeah, okay, that's a yield on $2.5 million worth, but yeah, it's absolutely wild in terms of the numbers that it's pulling in. What's my next setup on Bitcoin? So we talked about like potential hedge, which yeah, it's just not playing out right. It's pretty much invalidated now because you've got like these divergences. Oh no, it's not invalidated, not yet. No, not invalidated. Fine. If you wanted to play a completely fresh setup on Bitcoin, I'd just be playing range reclaims, right? And like literally this, reclaim, and then go long there. So like I'm playing around pivots, and that's it. So like that would be your kind of continuation along up here, right? It's hard though because I've been balls deep spot. I played a breakout long on perps at like 72, 73, something like that. Yeah, the time to be risk on was way back here, which you talked about on stream again and again and again. Yeah, hard for me to push the next leg on Bitcoin. Really. Grok looks good here. Ugh. What's the optimal time frame to spaghetti? It depends on what time frame you want to trade, is the honest answer, right? So spaghetti will tell you whatever you want to kind of know. In terms of if you want to trade the daily chart, probably look at the daily or even weekly, like what's been strong, like historically. Go into different time frames and understand it. Like for me, for execution purposes, it's like the 1 minute, or if I'm being really aggressive and conditions are strong, it's 1 to 5 second, because you can see stuff on this really quickly. Mog popping out. Look at that. Look at that. Like absolutely nuts. Like Ina just running. Like Ina, I understand from the 1 minute chart has been running for a little while, but you could have got an Ina way back here, right? Because you can see it's just so different to everything else. And if you got on that early and you got on that rotation early, there's a good 7 or 8% there for you. So it depends how aggressive you want to be. But genuinely, there is a lot of sauce on the 1 second spaghetti chart. And people rip the piss out of me for it because they're like, well, Charlie, you've been trading this market for years, blah, blah, blah. Why the fuck are you on the 1 second chart? It's like, because it tells you a story in real time and it genuinely gives you an advantage. But do you use Photon or Belex Photon? Is that stops on small cap memes? Stops. Stop profits, more like, brother. But yeah, no, I don't tend to think about stops. 100% risk. So everyone probably knows the story of me and SHIB and all that kind of stuff. And like, I had $1 billion of SHIB at one point. Like, there's if you look at like a lot of what happened with this kind of stuff, like it just does nothing. Like you buy here, does nothing. And this is probably a bad chart. So if I can go way back to when. Fucking bleh, vomit inducing. Yeah, man. Oh, it's even older than that. Yeah, the point being that on a lot of like, actually, I'll do one that I do know, and that'll make me sick as well. Only 91 million now. Happy days. So I had a large amount of this at one point, like down here, and you've literally got this like first run, and then you got this, right? This huge consolidation, and then I back in massively here, and then obviously it ran, and I was selling into this, so I didn't fully capitalize on the entire move, but yeah, I did very well out of this. Did I do better than if I just held that? No. I would have made more if I held that and obviously sold that up here somewhere, but again, timing the top's practically impossible. So yeah, a very, very, very good performance with this. But my point being that in this phase in particular, like when you've got, or even in this phase, yeah, let's just redo it. This phase or this phase, you know, trying to like buy and sell and time the tops and bottom, just fucking stupid. Like literally dumb. There is literally no point in trying to do that. Literally. In my opinion, anyway. You know, you put $1,000 in it, 5,000, 10,000, whatever's like a small amount to you, and then you just leave it. And if you wake up one day and it's 10x, great, take your initial out. If you don't, then, and if you don't think it can achieve that, then why are you even entering it in the first place? Because that's why you enter memes, right? Like I smashed in a ton when BERT broke out. Why? Cute dog, bit of a story to it. It's a shame the fucker died, but you know, I got in around about 10, 11 million market cap. Yeah, I've even got the doodle here, which is like there. So actually, it's a bit higher. It's more like, yeah, somewhere like that. Let's just delete that. So I aped in massively, like around here. Yeah. And obviously it ran and it went wild. Do you know Pepito? No. Salute to you all. Salute. Join the cult, VHS. What is this dog shit? Video, Blockbuster video. 2 million market cap. Oh man, I used to love Blockbuster. I'm not gonna lie. That's hit me right in the feels. But I will not be buying this shit going. I don't buy that on like brand newish. Well, it's not even brand new, I guess. Yeah. Be reminiscing. Pepito is the cat people retweet when he gets home, etc. What? Pepito. Oh, I don't know. I'm too old for all this now, boys. I think this has got to be my last cycle. Annoyingly, I saw this the other day, like here somewhere, and I was like, that's an interesting concept, and then I just left it. Cat's older than you. Pepito is 17. What a legend. So yeah, I think we've been through a lot of stuff, right? I've got like 4 minutes left, and then I'm gonna drop off because this is gonna be a much shorter one. So to recap, I think there's some reclaim setups on Bitcoin. I think ETH, it's too late for me personally in terms of like this rotation. That's kind of you're looking for simple diagonals, you're looking for support and resistances, you're looking for simple trades like that, right? Generally. Like for me, Solana, the reclaim up here will be really good if we get that. I still think that we're consolidating on a higher time frame on Sol BTC. I think this is the Solana rotation. I think this is the consolidation, and then I think we get that again. Bonk, you know, good in terms of next leg meme potential. Even if I traded that like a bit of a knob, but ended up still in the position. BNB, most painful position known to man. Doge, think next leg imminent, but probably not playing this rotation because of the reasons that we talked about. No beta, divs, etc. ETC, ripping new assholes left, right, and center, which is lovely to see because everyone mocked me for that trade, so they can shove that. Forg, I'm about break even on, but it is looking good if you ignore all my crappy doodles. Not necessarily a new entry though. Like the entry on Frog for me would be, or Frog rather, would be something like that. You know, just playing it kind of level to level in these kind of markets. And then we've got STX near, which is the same setup basically. High time frame pivots, long comfy holds. VANRY, which okay, well that's what we were talking about in terms of like adjusting stop. I think if we get a retest down here at like the 0.11 level, then that's kind of where you jump in. If not, you just leave it and just it's kind of a missed trade onto another setup. And obviously Desync, who sponsored the stream, I want that to go much higher because we've had this big consolidation for a long period. it fits into the AI kind of narrative quite nicely, and decentralized services, etc. Yeah, I think this just starts ripping. It's got a lot of big names supporting it as well. So yeah, I can see that going much higher. It's kind of it. It's kind of it for me. I don't think there's huge amounts of other stuff to cover. I think they're the next trades on BTC, ETH, and Sol for me. Or sorry, BTC and Sol. I think the ETH rotation has been really nice for a number of alts like LDO, which I've not taken at all. I completely missed the kind of LDO rotation. I think POPCAT has that nice high time frame setup that we talked about as well. If we get that rotation back into memes, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We covered POPCAT earlier, mate. Thoughts on grass? Yeah. So Doc XBT has nailed the grass trades, like absolutely nailed them. He caught this leg, sold the top. He caught this leg, sold the top. Like actual like pico tops on both of them. I think he posted the screenshots as well of like selling there and selling there. And then he posted a chart the other day, which like everyone's telling me grass is dead, like here. And then he aped it again. I don't know if he sold it or quite what, but he's basically ridden this leg. So he's just like compounded the grass trades again and again and again. Yeah, I called that shit the Pico bottom every time. Yeah, genuinely, I think he's 3 for 3 at Pico bottom to Pico top. Like genuinely 3 back to back incredible trades. So yeah, if you're not following Doc XBT, go give him a follow. Worried guy. Yeah, my worried guy bag is utterly in the bin. I ate this at like 7 million market cap, mate. Fucking 1.7 now. Yeah, I was the dickhead buying it up here. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? They're not all winners, brothers. They're not all winners. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like some memes just absolutely just go to the floor. Like I am down like what 70% on this. Um, yeah, yeah, about that. Maybe a little bit less, but yeah, like down like 2/3 on it, or sorry, 3/4. It's not been a good one for me. Biggest win of the cycle. Ooh. In terms of dollar amount, if you're talking about dollar amount in terms of single trade, it would would it be Bitcoin? Tough because I've done some decent. I think the one that comes to mind is probably Bitcoin because I've literally put my entire stack into Bitcoin at like between 65 and 69K. I think that's been the easiest trade for sure. I think one of the best percentage return trades is actually Fred. Because when I bought my initial couple of percent, way back here, I didn't even tweet about it. Right, this is the stupid thing. Right? This is the stupidest fucking thing about crypto Twitter. Like, I got in this at 100K market cap or something like that. I was like down here, right? And like this, like, some of this was me buying, right? And then literally, I went away for the weekend and I came back and it was up like well over 100x, and like that was by far the quickest, like the quickest 100x I've ever got in my life. It's absolutely fucking mental, but I can't tweet about it because it's a 150K market cap project, and people are like, "Why are you shilling something with fucking, you know, whatever at the time it was like 50K daily volume when like on my trading account like that's a clip." Do you know what I mean? Like it's not. Everyone just assumes you're poor because you start talking about 150K market cap projects, and that you're trying to dump massive percentages of supply on people's heads. And obviously that is what I was actually trying to do, but I didn't tweet about it, so kind of go fuck yourself. But at least, um, like, but I didn't tweet about it because you're not allowed to tweet about low cap projects. But that would have been literally like one of the fucking calls of the cycle. I didn't even put it in the Paragon group because it was like, oh fucking hell, or whatever it is. It's just far too early. Like even if I look at this, like to the highs, it would have been yeah, like fucking ridiculous percentages. Ridiculous. But what I actually did is I went balls deep here, and like I said, I played that. So in terms of like single altcoin returns, it's probably Fred. And I barely even talked about it on Twitter. Barely even talked about it. I talked about it in the group here. So we entered like basically in this, and I said, I just don't want to see like this to go. And it was this like literal meme triangle, and then it literally just ripped and ran. But obviously that 22x or whatever is far less impressive than 4000x from the original entry, which is what it was. TikTok may have ruined memes recently. I think probably devs killing themselves live on stream killed meme coins. If I'm honest, and that was probably it. But yeah, sorry, a chirpy note to leave it on, is it? So let's leave it on BERT. If anyone knows CZ, if you could show them on BERT for me, that'd be great. I would quite like to see it just absolutely break out and rip. Can I look at Zig? Oh, of course I can look at Zig. Yeah. I haven't talked about Zig much, but because it's been like a slow grinder to be honest. But I've had a bag of Zig since 0.7, 0.07 ish, and it's like quietly crept up to a 2x. It seems to move really weirdly. So I think this is where I tweeted about it originally, like back here and like this. I break a downtrend and then run up, and then it's just been like consolidating for ages. And then like when the rest of the market kind of stopped, it just ripped out and broke out. Like again, like all I want to see here is kind of pull back and go. Do not want to see it re-accept into like this value area at all. Especially given the fact that you've got like this divergence across here, so you kind of expect the pullback, but this will be the test of, is it going to come back into this value area? Really hope not. But that's your kind of invalidation on whether this is a trending play or whether this is just a kind of false breakout. Thoughts on PEPE flipping SHIB? Yeah, maybe. Did you get an SUV? No, I did not. Squid Game 2 coming out in December. Who remembers the BNB Squid Game token? Ah, yeah, I remember something like that. Yeah, I think there's so much opportunity, guys. And what I would encourage everybody to do, I know it's like 8:05 now, and I've ranted on a little bit longer than I intended to, but what I'd encourage everyone to do is sit back, have a plan, take your portfolio values, write down what happens if Bitcoin loses 50% tomorrow, write down if you're happy with that, think about your plans, think about your allocations. Do you want to be heavy AI? Do you want to be heavy memes? Do you want to be heavy what? Like, at some point you have to decide, right? I've got bags in kind of every sector. It's the kind of upside of being here for a long time and gradually accumulating bags and spending money on different things and doing all that kind of stuff. But I don't have that big one sort of concentrated bet like Rune that I had in 2017. Well, 2018, 19. But if you can find that bag that you really believe in and you want to be a community holder, great, and put 50% of your portfolio in it, absolutely fine. But you have to, suck up the downside of that as well. But just have a plan, sit back, breathe. Rising tide carries all ships and all that. Now is the time to kind of lock in and be trading and be quite active participant in the market. Airdrops have kind of fallen by the wayside in terms of matter, but I'm sure that if you're interacting with protocols and stuff early, you can potentially make meaningful airdrops. I think that meta will come back around. But yeah, genuinely, there's always another setup. Even if you missed one setup, there's always going to be something else, right? Tomorrow's another day, and yeah, I did not think ETH would be up 8% today, but here we are. It's up 8%. Bitcoin pulled back nearly 10%, and then has just absolutely ripped it up. Love to see it. But yeah. Feel good about your Bruce car bag? That's good. I don't want to market cap without any CT shilling. Yeah, that's fair enough. Just heavy at the moment. Thanks. Appreciate your streams. No, I appreciate you. Cheers, Ray Brain. I appreciate everyone who likes, comments, and subscribes to all of it and all that kind of stuff, and who retweets when I go live and all that. It just, you know, it is really nice. It's really nice to have the support in the community and stuff. I wanna start doing more. I want to start rewarding some of those people who are supporting me massively. I did ask, and I'll ask it here on stream. I asked it in the Telegram group the other day that I don't know if there's a way. I'm genuinely thick at these things that I can see like who my quote unquote loyal followers are. You know, who like my stuff and retweet and engage and comment and all that kind of stuff. And I want to kind of give stuff away to them or do some competitions with them or something, and just as a way of saying thank you, because I don't want to just be like, oh, you know, here's $1,000, like subscribe, follow, and all that kind of crap. I actually want there to be something kind of a bit more to it. But yeah, we'll see. Take a Bitcoin up 30%. Yeah. What do I think of Sol? I think Sol's really good. I think Sol. I've inadvertently got a massive stack of Sol because I sent Sol to Kraken to cash a load of yeah, cash a load out. Because I'm paying myself, right? I'm not like I'm paying myself. I pay myself some profits. I don't need to keep exposing. Like, one of the things that people should be conscious and cognizant of is as the market goes up more and more and more, your risk appetite should be getting less and less and less, right? I want to be when the market's like dying and nobody wants it and there's maximum fear. I want my risk appetite to go up. When everyone wants everything and people are ringing you up and saying, "How do I buy crypto?" That's when I should be cashing out, right? And yeah, this time it might be different. There's presidents involved. There's all this kind of stuff. Human cycles of greed and fear. That's kind of what I'm trading, right? And the more greedy everyone else gets, the more fearful I get, and the more I want to kind of take out, reduce risk, and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean I'm not going to participate. Doesn't mean I'm not going to actively trade. It just means that the further up we go, the more protective I will get, and also the further up we go, the deeper the pullbacks are going to be, right? So you go up, start with 10% pullback, you go up further, 20% pullback, you go up further, 30, 40% pullback, and that is a healthy uptrend, right? You're still going up, but some of these drawdowns can be wild. You know, this was like minus $10,000. This is minus like $40,000. This is minus $100,000. Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of shift in mindset, like dealing with $100,000 drawdown versus like a 10K one, is very, very different mentally. You know, particularly if you're in a situation where it's really going to change your life. Like, you know, $1,000 drawdown to me isn't gonna doesn't make a difference like day to day, right? But yeah, other numbers might. Top is in Hawk term meme coin. It's $1 billion. Yeah, I actually would probably buy it just because it's going to be so hated that it's probably going to get so much attention that it'll do well. And that's a really backwards logic kind of thinking about it. But you're trading attention, and the question is it going to get a lot of attention? And the answer is yes, probably. So, yeah, we will see. And no, I did not get offered a pre-sale bag, so it's a completely independent kind of verdict. Yeah, on that bombshell, I will love you and leave you all. The Paragon discounts, they will end Saturday, so they should be scheduled to end. If you've got any problems with it, just let me know. Crypto, if you pay in crypto, it takes like an hour to confirm it, so everyone like pays, the transaction goes through, and then people sit there and go, "Oh, it's not worked. Shit, you scammed me." No, it's just WAP. It takes an hour to confirm. But yes, yeah, 97k Bitcoin, yeah, it's ripping. So that short is thankfully fucking dead in the water. But look at that. That's fucking beautiful, isn't it? 100k today. 100k today. Come on. You can see my alert. That's from Thursday stream in the Paragon. I said we're gonna live stream the 100k moment. Long frogs. Excellent. Please don't say it. Yeah, 100k today, boys. 100k today. All right. Watch the market top right at this fucking nanosecond. Yeah, lovely. Right. Thank you very much for being here. I will see you again next week, legends. And yeah, stay safe, stay frosty. And I'll see you at 100k in the next 3 and 3/4 hours. Au revoir.